Yo, what is up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of reviews of things that I don't really need. And no, I'm not trying to be cool today. I am actually going to review the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. And these are pretty sweet, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let me give you some context into why I decided to purchase those and why I don't really need them. So I am a practical person, and as a practical person, I buy sunglasses for their functional use to protect my eyes from the sun. But also, someone once told me that, hey, you are a very attractive man, but it's easy to be attractive when you have a beard and you wear sunglasses because most of your face is covered. And I didn't know whether or not I should take that as a compliment or as an insult, but either way, here I am wearing glasses. But I mean, if you think about it, how many people have you seen out in the world wearing sunglasses and you're like, the person looks good, or at least decent, right? So I feel like sunglasses do help improve your overall appearance, even just by a smidge. So anyhow, I wear a lot of sunglasses. I purchase a lot of sunglasses, but I'm cheap because I know that I'll probably break them and or I will lose said sunglasses. And so usually I purchase sunglasses from a company called Goodr, Goodr. Now I am by any means, I'm not sponsored by Goodr or Ray-Ban, but I'm not sponsored by anyone. So if somebody wants to sponsor me and send me stuff to review, I'll take that so I don't have to spend my own money. But anyhow, until then, here we are. So I use this company called Goodr. They have really, really cool sunglasses, different styles, different types of colors of lenses. And what I really enjoy about it is, one, the price point. You could get a nice pair of sunglasses from Goodr for anywhere between $25 and $45. $45 is like top of the line range. I usually buy the $25 to $35 just because those styles are the ones that really fit my face. So that's number one. Second, they're polarized. The lenses are polarized. If you have not experienced a polarized lens on sunglasses, you are missing out. And then last but not least, which is I think a critical thing with an active person or anybody, you do not want the sunglasses or any glasses to continue to slide down the bridge of your nose. And the Goodr sunglasses stay in place. I can play volleyball, I can run, I could ride my bike, and they stay, even when I sweat, they stay in place and they make me look good. These are a pair of my OG original. I think this is the first pair I bought. I think these are called Whiskey Shots with Satan is the name of these. But look at these. The lenses are a little scratched up, but these are fire. And I don't know if this is still true, but if your lenses do get scratched up and you let Goodr know, they'll send you out new lenses just to swap out, which I think is pretty solid. So I have a lot of Goodr sunglasses. What made me go to the Ray-Bans? Because I'm going from $25 to I paid almost $400 for these joints. $400. I know you're probably asking is it worth it? So let me give you my thought process, because there's always a thought process in how you convince yourself to make these substantial purchases, right? So I was thinking, I was at the park with my daughter and I was pushing her on the swing. And for those of us who are not parents yet, the swing is a trap. It is a trap. People, stay away from the swing because you think you're only going to be there for 5 or 10 minutes. No, kids want to swing forever. And I'm sitting there and I'm pushing and I'm bored and I'm like, you know what would be great for this to be a good pastime and me to actually enjoy this experience with my daughter? If I could listen to some music, if I could listen to an audiobook or a podcast, then I can push for as long as she wants and we'd both be happy in the situation. But I still wanted to be aware of my surroundings. So that was one selling point for me. And then another thing happened at the park. My other daughter was going across the monkey bars for the first time. And instantly, human nature has it where I wanted to pull out my cell phone and capture the moment. But there's something that happens when you pull out a cell phone. Here's a cell phone. Here's what's happening. You put a screen in front of the moment that you are trying to experience. And so I usually do not pull out my cell phone, and I've kind of defaulted to enjoying the experience and hoping that my memory holds up so I can just keep this in my memory. Because who else am I posting this for? Like, what am I sharing this with? It's for me. But the Meta Ray-Bans have cameras. It has a camera. One of these is a camera, but it's a camera right here. It has speakers and mics in the arm, so I can actually take calls on this. So what I could do is I could hit this button and it would start to record what I'm seeing from my first person perspective. So I get to, 1, protect myself from the sun because these are polarized. 2, I could hear podcasts and music and still hear what my daughter is saying to me. And 3, I could take a photo or I could take a video of the moment and still be right there in the moment. These, my friend, are the perfect dad glasses. They're the perfect dad glasses. I enjoy them so much that I took them on a 3-week trip to some of everywhere: Ireland, Turkey, and London. If you want to know, I can tell you all about that trip and why we decided to go to all those places in another video. But I took these because, again, I knew I was going to see some amazing things, but I also knew that I wanted to be able to be in the moment. And these allowed me to do that. I was able to drive on the quote unquote wrong side of the road in Ireland and still capture the beautiful landscape. And when there was times when we were taking hikes and I wanted to, get some tunes or listen to a podcast, I tap on the glasses and there we go. So those are all the things that I love about these. I think these are great. They come with this beautiful charging case. I mean, this is like, it's pleather, but it feels luxury. And it sits in here and this gives you charge. And I know I've heard other people complain about the battery life, and Meta just released some an Oakley version that I'll probably purchase and I don't really need, and you'll probably get a review. But in the meantime, I have these and I really do enjoy most things about them. The caveat is these are trash at staying on your face. Eventually they start to slip down the bridge of your nose and you got to keep pushing them up, and that is the most annoying thing if you're trying to do some sort of activity. And I've come up with a remedy for it. I bought these little cheap, glass holders, and then you can sort of cinch the back to the back of your head and then it just kind of pulls it to your face. So I mean, you look a little nerdy having this, but it actually does work. But other than that, that is my only complaint about the Ray-Ban Metas. Again, I think right now you can get these for $2.99 because they just released a new version. And would I say you should purchase them? If your use case is my use case, where you want a multifunctional device that syncs with your phone, that allows you to have some sort of audio entertainment, that could also capture video and or pictures and does a pretty decent job. I'll have to post some. Actually, if you go and look at my video, my review for the giant gorilla dump cart, I was testing out whether or not it was feasible to use these as for reviews from a first person perspective. And I think it does a pretty good job. They're decent. So I would say if those meet your qualifications and you have an extra $300 to spend on some glasses, actually Ray-Bans are already expensive. So if you have to pay another $50 or $100 to get the sound and the ability to capture video and photos, then I think it's worth the upgrade, unless there's a specific style that you're looking for in your Ray-Ban glasses, because they are very limited in the styles that they have, but they have the classics. And I think classic Ray-Bans are timeless. There it is. That is my review of the Ray-Ban Metas. Catch y'all in the next video. Deuces.